Sure, life would be easier without him on the field, but your rivals tend to bring out the best of you. I was looking forward to getting the opportunity to go toe-to-toe with these guys again.
Tonight, from NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas, it's Thursday Night Football on EA Sports.
Now this will make it into the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center. First carry here for Joe Mixon. He'll have a first down past the 40. And all the way up to the 46. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. As we settle in and get ready to watch the next chapter of this storied NFL rivalry unfold, you've likely noticed the lack of pregame theatrics in comparison to what we were used to last season.
Yeah, it's absolutely been noticeable because we haven't heard the noise leading into this game where these guys are going back and forth with each other. And maybe it's because there's an injury that sidelined the guy who did most of the yapping last year. But just because we haven't heard the war of words so far doesn't mean that these guys don't want to get at each other. The intensity of the rivalry is still there, and I know it'll be evident once they tee it up and kick it off. And don't forget, one notable defensive star switched teams in the offseason. That's going to add to it.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Here's Parker, back to the air on second down, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start, but 2 incompletions since. Back to throw. Parker. Got his man there as Wallace complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Now Joe Mixon. And They'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 right at the 20. On the run, it's Mixon. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Tackle made at the 16.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 19 carries, 110 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know, he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
To throw on 2nd down, Parker. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
To throw is Parker. To throw on 3rd down. And Pascal's got it. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Indianapolis.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field here, just giving up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on 3rd down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
Five yards from the end zone, 1st and goal. From the gun, Parker toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. He was looking for Michael Pittman that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. Stepping up, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts take it right down and score on the opening drive. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5". Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries, 57 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room, in the cold tub, trying to get his legs back for this game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 yards there and a first down. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Throwing on first down. Mobley throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again. Mobley quickly into the hands of Robinson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 14. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. Powerful running, pushing tacklers aside, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Texans, nothing.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get his running game going.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. The handoff, it's Eckler. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
Eckler, the ball carrier.
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Brings up 3rd.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Darius Leonard in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try.
A 27-yard attempt.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Colts to take over. They got the victory last week. That was against Jacksonville, and they lead this one as well right now. Out in front here, they've got it 1st and 10. Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Carrier. The tackle made by Derek Barnett. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 32-yard line.
Parker off the play fake. A good throw here finding Pascal.
Parker's.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
A gain of 12. 1st down, Indianapolis.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Mixon.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and inches.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
1st down, Colts.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
1st down.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Houston. Allen Robinson second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? He was looking for Michael Pittman that time, but it'll be 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again, Parker. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now they run with Mixon. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line.
Texans take over 1st and 10. At their own.
And now out comes Houston. They're starting to put some space here. You know, 1st quarter, they didn't look so hot offensively. This 2nd quarter, though, they've looked really good.
They've jumped in the saddle in a big way now, and now they're in full gallop. I mean, before, kind of cantering around a little bit, right, trying to feel their way, not getting done what they wanted to. But somehow they put it together with play calling, execution.
Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Willis. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going into halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. He'll get this one to Pittman. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are going to jump back in front.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.
Texans 10. Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a short kick taken at about the 16. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like If he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
And so far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On first down, Mobley. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. In the early window, we'll have our eye on that game in Jacksonville. The Jaguars going to need to be on their A game as they'll have to do battle with the Tennessee Titans. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on what should be a very tough opponent. And lastly, in the national game on Sunday night, definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
For Indianapolis.
The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Houston set to take over. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Eckler. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Looking to throw on second down. Mobley. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Justin Madubuike. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Mobley. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Intercepted by the Colts. They'll take
The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters. Should he drive in the quarter?
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing, they're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up, go and gets tough.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun, Parker. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. From the gun, Parker. That's into the hands of Pascal. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
And 8 yards.
A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground range for it, but as you said, they picked it up. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Parker. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Brings up
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas. Throwing again. Parker. Throws this one right side to Pascal. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
complete to
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Texans scoop it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
complete. Fumble on the play.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll give it to Mixon, and they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Operating from the gun, Parker. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, Parker, blanketed coverage by Houston, makes it 4th down. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a short kick taken at about the 16. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 8.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Mobley. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So the Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
Indy set to go on offense once more. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Mixon. Still on his feet. Room here to run. The 40. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Joe Mixon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Well, what we just saw, we've seen a lot of broken tackles, and they're leading to a huge touchdown play.
Yeah, none of them more glaring than what we just saw there, but we've seen it throughout this game, whether it's in tight, running through the line, out in open field. They haven't been able to get these runners down very well. I have a feeling they'll be in pads a lot next week, working on their tackling.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Will take over.
This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 4 yards remain on 2nd down, ball on the 10. From the gun, Parker. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Zach Pascal, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Rigoberto Sanchez to kick off for Indianapolis.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Operating from the gun, Mobley. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. DeForest Buckner. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great effort.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Mobley. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
The Texans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and a mile. Operating from the gun, Mobley. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top of the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
And he's able to get it out of there. And this will be touchdown across midfield at the 45-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 40.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
The tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. With that last effort, he has reached now 10,000 career rushing yards. Congratulations.
Big-time congratulations. That also means that his publicist can make sure all the information gets to every voter out there who has a say in the Hall of Fame, fashioning together a heck of a resume.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Second down, Mixon. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Well, they'll be feeling pretty good heading into next week. A lot of confidence comes with a win over a division rival, especially when they had the edge in the season series last year.
That's for sure. And my hope is that we see this team healthy the next time these two meet up, though. Because even though the war of words, for a lot of people, they might think it's a little bit immature, you and I both love that dynamic. They were gritty, and they were getting after each other. We've missed the fireworks.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. From Houston, good night, everybody.